Okay, another week of training in the books. All in all, it was pretty good. It was kind of up and down a little bit, but I'm ready for a taper and excited to test. Starting off here with day one, this is the feet up touch and go. 142.5 is what I took this week. 1.5 kilo increase from last week. I think I did 141 last week for these. 4 sets of 5 was nice and easy. No trouble. This was done on Tuesday evening. Followed it up with my SSB squats. 390. Took another 5-pound jump from last week. That first rep looked a little questionable on depth, but all the rest looked good here. Went smooth. I was in the gym with one of our team members on this night, so I was training in a mask, which is, kind of crummy, and I've been lucky enough to not have to do it much, but it all good. So anyway, I got these 390 for 4 sets of 5 without much trouble, and again, I think depth is pretty good on most of these, although there's these occasional rep where I cut it pretty close. Also you can see a dumbbell sitting there on the floor. I just did dumbbell tricep extensions for my triceps, and I've been working those, that pull-up variation with the feet on the bench and using the bar and the combo rack with my bench width grip. There's the work for day one in the books on Tuesday evening again. Wednesday evening I came back for day two. I took the same deadlift weight as last week, 237.5. I considered going down in weight just because I know it's the last week of this cycle and I wanted to be able to be good for my singles at the end of the week, but everything felt fine, so I just took the same weight. So here's 2 of the 5 sets. Everything moving fine. I mean, it felt a little slow this week, although I don't know if it was any slower than last week. It looks good on video. And again, grip was fine. 237.5, and I got my pulls and my biceps and one-legged RDLs done as well. Here's day 3, Friday night. Was pretty tired at the end of my work week here. Started off with bench and everything felt pretty heavy. This is going to be out of order, but this is 185, the top single, and I thought that was slower than it should have been. This is 175, which came right before it. This moved well, but I also thought the velocity, based on the measured velocity, was a little slower than it should have been. And then these triples, I took the same 167.5 as last week. Just felt slow and heavy. I don't think it really looks all that bad on video, but felt slow and heavy. So it's funny, like finishing up these benches, I was feeling like, maybe the stressful week at work had me tired, and my squats were going to suck as well. Then I start warming up for squats. Trying to keep an open mind. Here's 215, which I've been using as like my velocity check. It's my first single. Depth is really on point, and it's faster than it's been the whole cycle. And I'm like, maybe it's not going to be a terrible squat night after all. So I took 235 next, which is what I took last week before my top single of 247.5. And this also looked really good and moved way faster than last week. I don't remember the measured velocities on either of them, but substantially faster. So I was still playing conservative, took a 2.5 kilo jump from last week's top single. This is 250. And again, I think depth here is great. Actually, that was cutting it pretty close, but it moved way faster than last week. That's when I sent you the video and asked you if I should go up. And here's 260, a 5 kilo lifetime PR, and 35.35 meters per second was the velocity here. Depth is pretty close. I mean, I don't know whether that's going to get by in the virtual meet or not, but I was really happy with that squat, honestly. If by the time I got through 250, I was like, man, I might be having one of the best squat days of my life, if not the best. I didn't go super aggressive on these triples. I took 235, and again, as I told you on Instagram, I just took 2 of the 3 scheduled triples. The extra singles and long week, and by this time it was almost 8 o'clock at night when I was starting triples. I was pretty tired, but these moved fine, and I think depth was pretty good here. Well, that rep looks a little sketchy. So all in all, day 3 was pretty good, I guess. Bench felt clunky, but didn't look that bad on video. And squat was, maybe the best squat session I've ever had in my life. 260, slightly faster than last week's 247.5. Saturday morning, oh man, these videos are out of order. Saturday morning was deadlifts, so short turnaround. Oh yeah, that was 250, my last warm-up. It's been my gauge for velocity, and it was slightly faster than last week, so I jumped to the 277.5 to be conservative. My grip never got locked in, and I missed it. Just gave up on it. So I did my 250 for triples, and these went fine. I did all 3 triples, and these were fine. I think it was mostly just the grip issue there on the top single. So I'm hopeful that isn't indicative of any kind of strength issue. 250, my last warm-up, moved great, and the triples moved fine. So on this slingshot bench, we were talking about making it a little easier, so I dropped down to 160 this week from 170 last week, just to cruise through those and get some work in. So there's the work from day 4 yesterday morning. And then all in all, it's a pretty good week. I'm looking forward to working Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday this coming week on some taper work and testing next Sunday.